Setting up meetings in Teams. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about the two scenarios where you would be using the meeting feature in Teams. So typically you would either be scheduling a meeting for a future date, or you would want to have a meeting instantly, an instant meeting. To schedule a meeting, all you would do is click on the calendar, brings you a little calendar with a date, and then click on New Meeting. Give your meeting a title. I'll just call this Q1 review. Add attendees. It's going to use the individual I've been using previously, Thomas Edison, from the previous lessons. Now, Thomas Edison is in my team, the Human Resources Document Review team, but it doesn't mean that I can't add additional attendees to a meeting. So even though you have a meeting and it's within a team and a channel, which I'll show you later on, you can set up meetings that have attendees from anywhere within the Teams platform, as long as they have a Teams account within your tenant. So Thomas Edison happens to be part of the human resources team, but suppose there may have been a scenario where I need to invite additional individuals for the meeting. I can then choose the date. I just choose the date and time. So let's say I want to go for next week. Let's say we want it for the 7th of October, and the time between 11:30 and 12. I also have suggested times from, and what Teams is doing is the scheduling assistant is that it's looking at the availability of the attendees and finding a window time slot where everyone is available, which is a real lifesaver. Imagine if you had 6 or 7 people and you're struggling to find a time when they are all free. Well, the suggested times as indicated here would give you an idea as to what is the best time to choose to ensure where everyone is available. So it's really quite a good feature. You can also click on Schedule Assistant, and that would show you the attendees and also the calendar. Now, I'm going to show you that now, even though what you're seeing now is it's showing as unknown, the only reason that's happening is because I'm using the browser app. I'm not using the desktop app. In most cases, in all your cases, you'd be using the desktop app, which is fully integrated with Outlook. And so when you then come to look at attendees for their availability, this would be completely in sync with Outlook. So you don't have to then go to Outlook and see if Thomas Edison is available between 9 and 10, because it says it's available between 9 and 10 in Teams. If it says it in Teams, that will also be the case for Outlook. So I'll just go back to the Details tab. We spoke about the channel earlier on, so this is to do with human resources and the procedures. So that's the channel I want the meeting to appear in. It also means that any notes, any recordings, and if you decide to record the meeting, then that recording would be located in that channel. Then I can then add an agenda. I'll just call it agenda example. And that's it. So I've got the title, I've got my attendees, I've got the date and time, I've got the channel I want the meeting to take place in. All that's left to do is click on send, and all the attendees will get a notification that there's a meeting that they've been invited to. If I go to my calendar and I have a look at the following week, you will see that that meeting I just set up is available there. If I click on it, just to give you an idea, so all attendees would also get an email, and in that email, this is what would be available. This is what they would see: the agenda and a link to join the meeting. So that's what you would do for a scheduled meeting. Of course, there are times when you just need to discuss something right there, right now. It's, strike when the iron's hot, that type of scenario. So suppose that happens, that was the case. So I'm in my human resources team, and we've been just chatting about policies, and we can't quite agree what to do about a particular policy. Instead of continuing to chat back and forth within the post, which is good in itself, perhaps you want that face to face. So all you would do is, just simply click on Meet and then choose Meet Now. And what that means is that everyone in that team would get a notification to join a meeting instantly. As you can see the video is enabled, the video enablement, so you can have that visual conversation with your colleagues. Right now, it hasn't yet gone live, so I've pushed out a Meet Now request. I just want to give it a subject. So let's just be specific. Section B of the procedures. Because we really have to discuss that section B. We can't quite understand what to put in there. So I've got the title. I just click Meet Now. And then this is it. This is the video experience. So now you've got that face-to-face functionality with all your attendees. You can go through what needs to be done. You can switch the camera off if you're in an area with low bandwidth. If that's the case, you could just simply switch your camera off. But it's good to have it on to have that visual. See the body language. Interestingly, almost 80% of communication is non-verbal, which is quite crazy, but it's true. So it's all about the expression, posture, all those things. It's great to be able to see it. So that when you put an idea down, you can really feel what the other attendees think of that suggestion and so on. But again, if your bandwidth is struggling, then simply click the camera off. You can mute yourself when someone else is talking, or if there's a lot of background, you may want to mute your mic so that there isn't any interference. This next option here is called Share a Tray, and what that does is it allows you to share your desktop. So if we want to go through a particular document, you can screen share, or you can browse, or you can share a particular document that you have open, and so on. So it's a great way to get all attendees to view the document at the same time for that meeting. Other options here, you can record the meeting. So that's great. Suppose not everyone can attend that meeting. You can just simply record it. At the end of the meeting, that recording will be in that channel. And so attendees who couldn't invitees who couldn't attend the meeting can access it there. Other good features, so is also one called Raise Your Hand. That's quite good. So if you're busy discussing something and you know someone, you need to ask a question, but you don't want to interrupt the person, just simply click on Raise a Hand, and then the presenter will then know that once he's finished explaining something, he needs to answer a question from an attendee. And that's quite good. Other features you could do is meeting notes. If I just click on Show Meeting Notes, click on Take Notes, then just call it Agenda Action Items. So again, a great way to have that one-stop shop for the next steps. How many times do we go in meetings and at the end of it, you don't know who's going to be doing what when? Well, this is great because you can have the meeting notes here during the meeting, assign attendees to various tasks, and it's right there for everyone to see. I'll just put some test comments, test action point 1, and so on. Test action point 2. So during the meeting, you've agreed who's going to do what, and it's available for everyone to see at the end of the meeting. So once you finish the meeting, simply hang up. And you'll see in the posts for the procedure channel, there's the timestamp of the instant meeting that just took place. If I want to see what notes were raised and what the action points are, that's also available there. So I just click on the notes and you can see it's over there. Test action point 1, text action point 2 with a deliberate typo. No, with a typo. But there you have it. So it's all there. So it's a great way to have the meeting, see who has to do what at the end of the meeting, and you can always refer back to it because it'll always be within the post of the channel that the meeting of the meeting that took place. So those are the two scenarios for meetings. You can meet now, where you just simply click on the meet now option, or you can schedule a meeting. And all the features I showed you with the video conferencing, in terms of raising a hand, doing meeting notes, muting your mic, sharing your desktop, that functionality is available whether you're doing the meet now or whether you're scheduling a meeting. So yeah, I'd encourage you to use that as often as possible. It really does save time. Thank you for listening.